Mm. Ah, Lily. Oops,
Hi.
you just disappeared.
I'm back now.
Oh, there you are. Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool.
I put my hand up because I want to check in with you. I'm a bit. I had a session and it was a good session with Silk, and I think I need a bit of grounding or something. I'll just sort of check in with you. Everything's fine, but just not sure.
Yeah.
Major stuff came up. Really good, yeah.
Yeah, so to me, just bring your attention to awareness. And so, I mean, and I know it sounds simple, but what does it actually mean? You know, it's just, it's present right now, but it's like, you know, normally, I'd say for most people, our attention is focused on the content of awareness. Like everything you just spoke is the content. Nothing wrong with that. It's just one possible focus.
Yes.
There's another possibility is where there's kind of like a resting.
Yeah.
Your attention is wide. There's still awareness of what's showing up on the screen, but there's not a getting involved with it or making it mean anything or translating it or interpreting it or any of that. So just play with that for a moment. Just resting. Yeah. It's like, you know, to use language in a kind of a clumsy way, you're the space of all experience. It's just like it's happening on the screen. It comes and goes. You can't hold on to it.
And there's some freedom, and that expansion of sense.
Then it doesn't tend to get taken personally. It just, you know, it's like it just washes through.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So just playing, experimenting. It doesn't matter the ripples or the waves or anything, you know, it's just like, it can pass through without identification, without, you know, like needing to ground or needing to do anything. Yeah.
Right, and just watching that content go.
Yeah, and even the watching of it, it's like I could say just a gentle noticing. You know, it's just like your attention is, you know, I was speaking for a while about this balance point, you know, like our attention determines everything. It determines the sense that we have of ourselves, the sense of the universe that we inhabit. And so our conditioning has been to focus on objects and on the content of our awareness, or rather, I could say the interpretation of the sensations.
Yeah.
So that's been the conditioning, you know, and it's very rare that we've been invited to just recognize that everything's happening in awareness. But you see, like it's tricky for the mind because awareness isn't something you can find. It's more like a recognition that this, you know, like all sound happens in silence, and we don't notice the silence usually. We just notice the sound. And all experience, everything is appearing in something so subtle you can't feel it, you can't sense it. It's just like more knowing. but it's
In the heart, you
it's like,
sense it.
yeah, like in the heart, the attention is wide. It's just, yeah. A lot of times, like there's a noticing of what goes on, and behind that is this attempt to try and control what's happening. It's hidden, but it's and there is no, we can't. But
I see.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like, getting very accurate at noticing and all this stuff, but it just makes trouble, actually. It's just like that deep resting. Yeah. I heard a good Sufi joke a lot. This guy walks into this Sufi's place, and there's almost nothing in there. And he says to the Sufi, "Where's your furniture?" And the Sufi looks at him and says, "Where's your furniture?" He says, "But I'm only visiting."
Ah. Oh gosh, that was beautiful. Did something in the system. Oh, oh, I don't know. Wow, such a lovely gift. Thank you. Oh,
You're very welcome. Yeah, cool.
oh. Yeah.
How Papaji used to speak about it. If you've ever taken a flight, when you're in the waiting room, the transit lounge, you don't redecorate the transit lounge, right?
Oh God. Oh, far out. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Can I check with you later on,
Okay.
please? Isaac, it's Lily asking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were ready.
Sure.
We're finished.
No
Sorry.
problem. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's okay. I'm with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for anybody that didn't get the Sufi joke, the Sufi replied, "Me too, I'm also only visiting."
You needed a what?
The Sufi, when the guy visiting the Sufi asked, "Where's your furniture?" He said, the Sufi said, "Where's your furniture?" The guy said, "I'm only visiting." And the Sufi said, "Me too."
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Can I share something?
With pleasure.
I was with a new doctor because I didn't like the diagnosis he gave. And I didn't like what he said to me. That was the only possibility to handle it, and that it was very dangerous to not do it. Or is they? No, he said it. He found it dangerous. But I went away, and then I realized my whole life I've always tried to keep balance to bring balance in my body with natural things.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, leave it and just go on that path. Yeah. And I can feel there's, or I think, or no, it feels like there is an, or not like, I know I have an unbalance in the male and female energy in me. And that shows in the hormonal disbalance. And that creates problems. So I want to sit with that, please.
Okay. And
it's so good to speak that I want to go on this.
it's beautiful that it's beautiful that you speak in, and so
because it makes
for
it
a moment.
Sorry.
Yeah. So beautiful to speak it. In my view, the word healing is from the word whole, to be not divided.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so that as far as I can tell, of course, if there's something going on, we like to see what can assist us, but at the same time, not to get so identified with what's happening. This is temporary. This whole story is temporary.
Yeah.
And everybody's doing their best. I mean, that's what's so weird. You go to an acupuncturist, they have successes with some things and not with others. You go to a natural person eating raw foods, they have successes. Then you go to Ayurvedic and they give cooked food. And then you go to a macrobiotic person and they all have some success,
Yeah.
So there is, it is. And the other thing is, placebos are almost as effective as real medicine. They've done numerous studies on that. So, there's something else going on. And, so if a doctor gives you a pill and he says, this is the latest and it's the very best and it's definitely going to help you, but he gives you a sugar pill, the chances are it's going to be as effective as medicine.
Yeah.
So, but it's also a funny thing. Then on the other side, you see Ramana died of cancer, Nisargadatta died of cancer, the Karmapa died of, it's just like, Papaji had high blood pressure and diabetes. So, it's like what the Buddha discovered, what's common to us all is disease, old age, and death. So, of course, we want to be intelligent about it and see what we can do where, if there's an imbalance somewhere. But usually the imbalance is caused by old habits of attention, I would, almost always. So where I find that usually comes to peace is just that deep resting, just that resting as awareness.
Yeah.
And I mean, and there again, there's been a lot of studies just to show how just that resting changes how the brain functions, does a whole bunch of stuff. So, but we've grown up in a culture where we want a quick fix. Go to the doctor, he tells you, and then you're on medication, and then you start looking up, okay, what are the side effects of those medication? And, I mean, sometimes people do, sometimes they just trust the doctors, but
I can't.
yeah, that's not your path. Yeah,
No.
so then then you're in, and you start looking, and okay, where's something, is a great homeopath or somebody that does something, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just same thing with medication now.
Also what is meant to be, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It's just, medications have their place. I'm not knocking them, but I also know that the leading cause of death
Is medication.
is prescription medication.
Yeah.
It's so weird. So here we are. And then, sometimes, like I take some medication, but I play and I listen, go to the doctor, they tell me stuff, and I just see if it fits for me. I look up and see what are the side effects, and just listen to my own body. And I know, this whatever, what we call transitioning or death or whatever, it's not.
It will happen.
To me, it doesn't. It's gonna.
It will happen. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I understand. You go to the doctor and they tell you this is.
Yeah, because my body kept fevering after this illness, and my body also kept a lot of pain. So I thought it was totally something else. So I just went for a check for my urine, because I thought it was a bladder infection, and it isn't that at all. But
so much going on. I mean, we live now. We live now. When I'm in Holland and I turn on my computer, there's like 10 different Wi-Fi's that I can see on and that information we never used to get. It's like, so we getting all this other stuff going on, which is known to affect human tissue, and then so I don't know. It's like. But the main thing I tell you is just rest as awareness, and then listen to what the body says if you can.
yeah.
And please, this is just my view. If anyone has a different view, feel free. I'm not. Yeah. I don't say don't do medications.
I don't ask you that, because I made a decision for myself already that I didn't want to.
No, that's clear. I see that.
Yeah. But I want to share, because it helps me to easily feel the rest. And I realize while you are speaking, there is this realization, whoa, there is no I doing anything. It's just life which is showing up with this thing in this body system.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
You
and
know,
then I realized, because you are speaking, I thought there is no I, there is no doing or doing wrong or doing well, nothing like that. And I'm really happy.
you know,
that,
Nina,
yeah.
when you speak to me about what's been on your plate, and I could see how stressful. Stress is one of the leading causes of dis-ease. So, and for me, the biggest antidote to stress is that resting as awareness.
Yeah.
So
And
anytime you notice your system going in that direction of stress, if it's possible, rest as awareness.
yeah,
Again
also,
and again and again.
also decided to do a lot of fun things. I think it's best for me to do a lot of fun things.
Yeah.
So that I can, open, then the heart loves it.
Yeah. With luck, this is fun for you. So
This is a lot of fun for me. Yeah, really. And I don't know if I told that my mom is becoming 100 in 2 weeks. And we are organizing a big party, and she doesn't know of nothing. That's really nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That gives you joy. I can see that.
That gives me joy. Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
congratulations. That's a milestone, 100. Wow.
yeah, that's a milestone. So I was thinking, well, let's do big. You only become 100 one time in your life. Yeah. Really nice.
That's for every age. Yeah. You only
That's
do
for
it
every
once.
age. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy to be with you.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you so much, Isaac.
Yeah.
Love you. Love.
Love, and more
Love
love.
you.
Yes. Oh, beauty. Varesha.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi, Varesha.
So I have a nice healing story.
Oh,
So I finally started to rest as awareness because of my diagnosis, Ine. And yeah, and then I finally had the courage to go to the surgery doctor again last week and ask him, how can it be that there's still cancer? Da, da, da. And he looked and said, there is no cancer. And he looked how he did the operation, and he said, yeah, I had to cut the lip line because I did this and there is no cancer. So the other doctor who told me there's still cancer, she was wrong or in a hurry or in stress or whatsoever. Ooh, ooh, wow. So grateful. And so grateful that I started the deep resting, the healing. So, wow. Hmm. So, yeah, I like to rest with you, and yeah, maybe no other things can come up or whatsoever. I mean, yeah, because it was 1 year, this story. It was 1 year. Wow.
simple, huh?
No, there's much more space, joy, for the joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you all
Thank you.
who listen to me all the time.
The internet's a little bit slow, so it takes a moment for all the pictures to come back. But if you're waving a hand, I can't see it yet. Now it's coming. Cool. Vedanta.
Hello, Isaac. I didn't want to say this, but it comes. I feel I have another healing story. I lived since 3 years with cancer. Just that there are so many possibilities, actually. And this resting, of course, is this major. Yeah, but before I felt in my system, there is a lot of, in the solar plexus again, a lot of movement. And it's not so easy just to rest. It is always going backwards, forwards. So I wanted to ask just to rest a moment with
Yeah,
this.
rest together. So welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. And just as we're resting, just notice that just the, like, when there is movement, it pulls our attention there in a way. So it's like no problem with that's, like it's a design, you could say. It's like, so it's meant to do that, but then it's like, okay, if there's nothing we can do about it in the moment, and there's nothing practical, nothing that needs our attention, then okay. So amazing as a system gets quieter, the sense of time just changes to, now you could say without effort. It's just,
Yeah, it was really just to say, since 3-4 days, there was really like sickness in this, and So and that's just so beautiful, just to rest.
Rest,
Actually. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and I love that we can support each other like that. You know,
Oh,
it's
I'm
just
so
like,
grateful. Yes, yes, because this idea that something was wrong or is wrong was so strong playing, and this comes to rest also, and that really, yeah, it can all can be there, and yeah, it's yeah, yes. Isaac, thank you so much. I mean, yeah.
Martin, and then Jakob after.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi, Martin.
Well, I'm also grateful. I have a situation. My mother came in the hospital, and she's very old, and she's probably going to die. And I feel that these meetings are helping me a lot in the situation.
I'm happy to hear you.
And I like to rest with you a little bit about, you know, this feeling to bringing her home. I would call it like that. And well, about this theme that we just visitors, just watching, not doing anything, just watching what happens. I would like to rest with you about that.
You know, very interesting inquiry is to really look at what is it that dies. This life force, we don't know what it is even, yeah?
It's very interesting when I look at the organism of my mother. It's like, it's amazing. It's something like even losing the female male thing. It's coming like an organism without gender. It's something.
Yeah.
She seems to, she's in peace. I think that she seems to get something like, transcendental. Yeah, like she sometimes seems to be somewhere else already.
How lucky. Yeah, how lucky. And then just your presence without, you know, projecting anything onto it, just holding a hand. Okay, this is a natural. Yeah, it's, you know, you could say it's going home or whatever you want to call it. It's like we never go anywhere, actually.
Yes.
We're here.
Yeah. Just the body, the coat, we leave the coat again. But then I try to suggest in my presence, it's okay when you go, because my father, of course, I can understand. He tries to hold. He's, you know, don't go. With this, you know, of course, I can understand that. But I'm trying not to do that.
Yeah. The main thing is just resting. If you're resting, she feels it. And she knows that you're at peace. And that's all the mother wants, actually. She certainly doesn't need advice or anything, just to see you at peace. And she knows she's done her job.
So a few seconds you were frozen, so maybe I didn't hear something.
Oh, no problem.
it's so great to be the spaciousness in the situation, always, but especially in the situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you, Martin. Oh. Yeah, I see.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you speak one more time?
Sure. Did that help?
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Uh, uh, I don't know if you can hear me properly because it's raining here.
I do. I hear
Okay.
you well.
Uh, 2 days ago, you spoke about, or you asked someone, where does the experience happen? And it, in that moment, became very alive experientially for me.
Mm.
And so, but later, today and yesterday, sometimes it was covered by my mind and thoughts. So I was trying to repeat that, ask me again, like, where does it happen? And first it was efficient, but slowly it lost its power, and now it doesn't serve anymore. So I
You
would
know,
like to.
yeah, to me, it's just like there was a seeing, it don't, if it's possible, not to turn it into an experience.
Yeah,
The habit is to turn everything into an experience. Then it's like you're then trying to hold on to an experience. But that in which all experience appears is not an experience. It's beyond experience. So all experience is happening here. That's all we can say. We can't say where exactly it is. It's just here. And the only thing that shifts really is our attention. Where and how our attention focuses.
there's this tendency of mine to just to understand it or to grasp it.
Yeah,
That's
for sure. There's that
true.
tendency. Yeah, and when it's just in a way it tries to help us. That thinking activity. But there's awareness of it always. There's always that awareness. And what that awareness is, we can't say.
Now the mind is trying to see everything as one thing, but it's always
So
looking for.
we can say we can say it's the mind, but really it's just thought, because there is no such thing as a mind. No thought, no mind. So thoughts come up, like a thought comes across the screen. We don't, we think we're the thinker of that thought, but thoughts just come. If you think you're the thinker of a thought, just try to stop and you'll see thinking still happens. It's not you. It does it by itself, yeah? So thoughts come, no problem. Ramanda's invitation is so direct and simple. Whatever appears, any thought, any feeling, any idea, if you ask the question, to whom does it appear? The answer has to be to me. And then the question, who am I? It's not an intellectual question at all. It's just a recognition that somehow that awareness is here always. And it's in that everything is appearing. And that we don't have to do anything for. It's just, yeah. No effort is required. And in that, thoughts can come and go and thoughts of seeking and getting somewhere and it's being a special way. Or doesn't matter. Awareness is here, untouched. So right in this moment, what is that in which all thoughts appear and disappear? And that question you can't answer with your mind because but whatever that is, it's here. Therefore, all effort, there's some idea about how it's supposed to be, of something we've heard from someone, and then there's some effort to try and have it be like that. But that's all secondhand, you know. The direct experience here now, the direct knowing, you can't speak it because yeah. There's just a space in which the information of the moment coming through the senses happens, and then the interpretation of that, and then making meaning out of it or something. But that process of interpreting and making meaning out of it is all conditioned, highly conditioned. In truth, do we know what's going on? We don't have a clue, right? Cool.
Just to remain silent.
Yeah,
That's
simple. No effort is needed. No, to be who you already are. You know, so it doesn't require effort. It doesn't require getting there. It doesn't require any of those things.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob. Mari. Hi.
There. Oh. Hi, can you hear me okay?
I hear you perfect. Can you see me and hear me?
Yeah, I just had to click a couple of things. I just wanted to thank you for this. Really needed this. I was feeling very agitated about, you know, similar stuff people were talking about the body, and I just had really agitated myself into a friend who had tried to be helpful actually had been suggesting, you know, visualize, you know, how your body wants to be, or visualize, you know, using she had a particular person I won't mention, you know, who's focuses on thought, and it was just, it got me all twisted up, and I was kind of like, I don't know, I don't disagree, but I anything that it seems like effort, and
That's beautiful. So you're starting, you know, like there's a fineness of noticing that is making that distinction. And that's something, and it's like we're so used to effort and getting somewhere and doing something, and then the simplicity of being, just the naturalness, the natural intelligence it's expressing as everything, kind of gets overridden by, you could say, some sense of doingness, some sense of, and so
yeah, there's like
simplicity
a
gets,
technique.
yeah.
But you know, as you said, you know, anything that helps, I think, is good. Like if it's a pill, or if it's a diet, or if it's a technique, then yeah, fine. But it's not the ultimate, as you say. It's really when it's, you call it just resting. I noticed also, I was spending time with someone and I was laughing, just laughing, and just silly. It was just silly, and it was, and I didn't, you know, a lot of my stuff just went away. But then on the opposite side, I spent some time with someone and I wasn't laughing, and it was very serious, and I couldn't have been more uncomfortable. I was shifting around, and I was just, and you know, nothing against this person at all, but I was just like, wow, there's really something, there is definitely, you know, I mean, obviously it's connected, how could it be separate? But to try and force that frame is different, you know, to force, you know, oh, I'm going to make myself laugh now, and no, feel good. I don't know.
I mean, it's so amazing that, like, as our system gets quieter, it's so much easier to see the humor of the circumstance.
Yeah.
Then at a certain, you know, like then seriousness looks funny. It's like, it's interesting that seriousness, the root of it is series, which means to be in time. Out of time, there is no seriousness.
Series means to
Be in time, like a series of events, and
yes.
like it's a series of, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the root of seriousness. Yeah.
Ah,
Be
interesting.
in time. Yeah. And it's interesting when it's just that deep, relaxing time disappears. It's like it's just,
Yeah.
in a way, so yeah, it's just now
Yeah.
unfolding itself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. About the same time every day, I get this intense agitation. I just want to move my body. I'll be lying down and I just moving. That's a new thing. I don't know what the heck. There's no need to analyze that, but it's just like, just so like sometimes it's moving something through. Sometimes it's just I don't know what the heck that is. Energy that just wants, it's just like wiggle, move. Yeah, it's kind of strange. I mean, it's not strange because I'm alone, but I'm thinking if someone was looking, this would look very strange. Like, I think everyone's wiggling. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's part of it too. Maybe that's
Like in a certain, I mean, we live in fields of energy. So I don't know where you live, but like certain times of day, a lot of people are going to work, and people are, the stress level is amping up, and then so we feel all that stuff, and so it's like there's a tendency to take things personally. Somehow experience seems very close to us, as if it means something about us, but it's like the show on the TV means nothing about the TV. It's just which radio station it's tuned to. If you buy a TV and you take it back the next day, you say, I'm returning the TV because I didn't like the program. Laugh at you. It's like, so, just, we pick up all this information all the time. It's just like endless information. Some of it touches old information in us and activates our nervous system in a certain way, and some of it doesn't.
I am in San Francisco, so there's a lot going on there. Yeah. I think there's something to that. Yeah. Like being a receiver.
Yeah. I mean, that's why, if you ever awake, like in the early hours, it's like the psychic vibe is quite different than during the day. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh God, I just long for the night sometimes. I'm like, yes, this night. Oh yeah, peaceful. But yeah, thank you. This is just such a nice reminder. It's just yeah, natural. I liked someone was talking, I didn't like, but someone was speaking about their mother close to dying, and I have been thinking about my mother a lot because she's kind of getting up there. But she's 5,000 miles away, and I was picturing her today, and I was just picturing holding her hand where she lives. She's not in hospital, but I know she's getting older, and but it was beautiful. I was just picturing as if I was really there. And
fantastic.
yeah, I think there's something to that. I can't
Yeah, for sure.
say what that is, but it was very lovely. So it's very it's a nice feeling. It's a comfort because it means you don't have to. I don't feel you have to be there to be present. And
Thank you.
thank you.
Tom.
Hi, Isaac.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, good to see you.
Yes.
Ah, this is nice. I'm really enjoying this.
Happy to hear.
I wanted to look together. I woke up this morning and I just felt really, really horrible. And what started to arise from that was this kind of plan of how I was going to get back into the nice place inside. And then I thought about you actually, and I just said to myself, just stop, just stop trying to fix this, like any of this.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, or I love to say it like this, you know, we can't hold on to any experience, not the highest high, not the lowest low. It all it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
So, and what makes it seem to last a little longer is when there's some resistance, some wanting it to be different. That gives it energy and crystallizes it in a sense.
Yeah.
So there is a form of Tibetan yoga, you could say, where they deliberately wake up a few times every night just to be present to the sensations that are there, because they know that when we're sleeping, you know, there's like everything that's undigested can easily come to the surface. And they're not concerned with the content of dreams and stuff. They just interested in the sensations that arise from that, and just gently being present, not trying to solve, just being space. So yeah, so we wake up and there's something going on, and you could say there's a knee-jerk response that wants to kind of change or fix, unless, like with you this morning, there was no, not going there again. I'm the space of all experience, just resting as that, knowing it'll pass.
It seems to be very much my life at this time is almost like oscillating between these deep tensions and habits, and then and then feeling absolutely free and like, yeah, almost crying because there is so much spaciousness and love. And right now it seems to be both at the same time.
Yeah, amazing.
But I did want to ask you this question because I find it easy to then make it into a project, like, oh, it will be nice when my system has changed, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, and that's seen. It's seen because that's just a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's nothing to fight with, or it's just seeing. That's, in a certain sense, it's a conditioning. You know, like like putting up, like, you know, like putting up with experience. Like, oh, I just have to wait. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's like, so it's like, in a way, and it's like, as experience is there, it's like this, in that resting, there's a capacity to be very present to the experiencing that's happening without involvement, without, you know, like any compensation to create distance or anything like that. It's immediate. It's just whatever's here can be here.
Mm.
So it's, you know, when it turns into a project, you've seen it. You can see that that's already like it's somehow the thought has tricked us. You know, to me, it seems like every expression of life that we call human is carrying all the information of all our ancestry. And a lot of it is trauma and, you know, undigested information, you could say. So as we get quieter, all the compensations that, you know, have functioned to keep that stuff under the surface start to rise up, because yeah, it's like, and in that there's just like a natural resting with whatever's rising, and a deep capacity builds by itself, you know, just like how a child learns to walk and run and high jump and whatever else it learns. But it's just a natural process that, in a sense, is for the benefit of all beings, you know, because it's generic. It's all old information that almost everyone can find in themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very present to this. Like, I think I know why I've taken private sessions with you, because I have this tremendous fear of other people.
Okay. And at this moment, just for fun,
yeah,
go back to gallery view. Just go back to gallery view.
go back. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go back to, and then look at all these faces here, and find the scariest one here.
It's more that there are many than a particular one, I think.
It doesn't matter. Just look for the scariest one. See if you can find. There's some pretty scary guys here. Look at. You know, the scariness usually has to do with somehow being concerned about what somebody thinks or something like that.
Yeah. It's definitely a fear of being like questioned or criticized or something like that.
Yeah. So that's, you know, you can see that's a projection because
yeah.
You know, if somebody's thinking something, they can't help it, and it doesn't mean anything about you. It's just, yeah. But when you look around, and I mean, yeah, it's just life, different expressions.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah. Birgitte. Hi.
Hey, Isaac. It's really, really beautiful and inspiring so far. Thank you so much, and everybody who spoke.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you can see we're all in the same boat, hey? We're all just,
Yeah, because I was kind of, I don't know if I told you, confronted with a new physical problem, and very, very severe osteoporosis, with a bone density of a 90-year-old in a wheelchair, so like a spider web vertebrae bone density. And it's that has been a real roller coaster in finding out what is, you know, what can be done, what need to be done, what is course of action, whatever. And adding that up with the 3 broken vertebrae and the danger that already imposes has made life the last few weeks, I'd say emotionally, physically, mentally more challenging, because it's like every step I take, I have to be careful. And because if I fall, something might break and whatever.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I feel, say, a growing inner peace.
Fantastic.
And
I mean, you know, like that. I love what you say, because it's like, no matter what happens, when it's used as an opportunity just to, in a sense, you could say, let go, surrender. It's just like, then the piece becomes way bigger than whatever else is on the screen. You know, it's like.
Yeah, but there is something nagging, and that's I think that's the nagging which has been, say, my life's nagging. my life's resistance to surrender is, where am I responsible? What did I do to cause this to happen? And do I need
So before you pursue that question, just find the I that you're talking about there.
Thank you. Puts it right into perspective. Yeah. There is such a belief somewhere in this system that if I work hard enough, I can solve this bone issue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If I, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And just look, no matter when you see it, how powerful is that belief? It's funny.
Yeah,
There's no power.
No, it has no power, but when it flares
If
up.
it's not seen, yeah, of course, then it seems like it has power.
Yeah,
but
then
when it's seen, it's funny. Yeah.
More crippling than the osteoporosis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've told the story before, but Yogananda, this very famous yogi, world famous, went to see Ramana Maharishi, and he asked Ramana, what can we do to assist all the suffering people? I mean, it's like in one way it sounds like what a heart that would speak like that. And Ramana just said, find out who's suffering.
Yeah.
You can find the suffering, but you can't find the sufferer. It's like it ends the story. But just
yeah. It reminds
some
me.
habit, yeah.
Right. Right. Then I have to think about the words I heard Emoji say in one of his videos. Also about someone asking someone about the suffering, and he said, and then the answer was, "We're not. You're not suffering your experience. You're experiencing your suffering." Oh, it's the other way around. He said, "You're not experiencing suffering. You're suffering your experience." Mm-hmm. So you can change the suffering part because experience.
Yeah, and so when you really go deep into that, you see like, what is suffering? And it's like somewhere there's an automatic, unconscious mechanism that wants a different experience than the one that's there.
Yeah.
And nobody's doing that. It's an automatic, it's an unconscious. Nobody would do that consciously because it just shows up as suffering. But the moment that mechanism plays, automatically and unconsciously, there's suffering. And it feels like there's someone there that's suffering. The moment that relaxes, you see it's just it's a Fata Morgana, it's a mirage. Yeah?
It's a mind fuck, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is, that's what I'm seeing more and more. What is then in this ego structure, the resistance that's always, say, there if you're in the ego structure, into accepting that what is?
Yeah. Let's slow that down. Let's just slow that down. I would use different words. What we call an ego structure is just automatic unconscious habits.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That have been conditioned and passed on generation to generation. There is no actual structure. There's just, I would say, yeah, unconscious habits. And when they're unconscious, it means nobody's doing them.
No, that's true.
Yeah. So, and to me, it's just like, in that recognition, then there's just the capacity of very gently noticing in the moment where there's resistance at whatever level that resistance is at. And recognizing nobody's doing it, nobody would do it. It's just old habits and information. So there's either the possibility of like exploring just meeting the moment as the beloved, which then can include, just, wow, there's some subtle resistance somewhere. Not wrong, not bad, just another opportunity, ultimately, to see where energy has been kind of functioning in a way that is not fun. That's uncomfortable. But what's beautiful about it, it's like it's also, you see that there's nobody doing it, and every time that mechanism is seen and noticed, and like just honored, and it benefits the entire field. It's not for you. It's not that's why it's not a project. It's like, that's where you can understand the Bodhisattva vow, it's like I'm here for all beings. It's like, we're the same. We're in the same, it's like there is only this great intelligence functioning, using these expressions of itself.
Yeah. There is this really deep energetic, I think, change happening in my system, in this body system right now when you were speaking.
Yeah, beautiful.
My heart, going down into my legs.
I love how the intelligence functions. The moment, like our system rests, the flow starts to happen. And like from an acupuncture or Chinese perspective, all diseases just blockages of flow blockages. So, it's just like,
Can I sit with you? Quietly, please.
it's like there's a certain habit of attention where we feel separate, and like the flow of information, not only within the expression of the physical body, but the flow of information with totality gets kind of talked, gets out of, but then when it starts to rest, it's like the way these systems flow with each other. It's just a download, or you could say, some people call it transmission, I don't know what word, but there's just a free exchange of beauty, information. That's with no effort whatsoever.
No. It's a joyous dance.
Yeah, in some ways, like whatever these bones here know.
They don't know much.
Is available to those bones. And it's just like, it's like just, I mean, at the same time I see, like this expression has its own journey. And yeah, the more there's peace here, it doesn't really matter what's going on. It's just like, of course, it's just.
Yeah. If I have to measure the knowledge by the density of my bones, there's not much left. So So I'm blessed here. Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you. Connie? Urja?
Yeah, I see Connie now.
Okay. Does that help?
Now it was nice sharing about space and everything and nothing. I just want to share, it is storming here, stormy weather again. And I just want to share that I was riding in the storm Friday. It felt like births and deaths happening in the same time, like a feather in the wind. But I was in my car and I felt there was no time for resistance. I had to surrender to whatever was there. That was just the wind, like taking me in the clouds. And I also felt a cooperation between people, just cars, because you don't really see people because you're busy with the wind and the storm to keep the wheels straight. And, you know, very scaring. I felt scared and I was screaming like, fuck you, stop it, and this and that to the wind, because I want to control the storm. I want to be stronger than the storm in a way. And I was with cars stopping at a certain moment because there was a tree coming on the road. And we were there waiting. I was also confused what to do. We cannot go on. Then people go out of the car. Some people in front of me, oh, courageous. They carry the tree. And we drive on to the high road. Oh, I felt really like a feather in the wind and just felt, okay, if I die, I die. But it was like a birth and death in the same time. Nothing with your mind, just, and fans going, you know, you feel to, oh, I have to go home. And later I read, you have to stay in the house. We can leave the house on Friday because Corona is, all the rules are gone. We can party, but then there was another rule on the telephone, stay home because of the storm. And on the TV, I see vans and trees and houses and cars. And so I felt, oh, I survived. Yeah. But in the experience of, I felt I was not there. There was just the storm. I was the storm. I have to scream to the storm like a feather in the wind to survive.
I get,
Yeah,
I get it. And I'm going to invite you just to keep quiet, Urja.
I feel very quiet after I survived this storm inside and outside and feeling all these emotions like anger and fear. And I was even crying in the car because you want to
I'm going to invite you to keep your mouth closed.
Yeah.
And just enjoy here. This is all past. It's all gone.
I feel a lot of strength that I win from the storm. But maybe it's just an imagination.
Urja, this is all the past. Just stop and be here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
You don't have to entertain me. You don't have to entertain me.
No, I don't entertain. I just wanted to share this, that maybe other people
I
have
understand.
experienced.
I'm not interested. I'm really not interested.
What is your interest then? What I can say?
Just right here. Just right here. The past is gone.
Yeah, it's a story. I'm here. I'm here still.
Good.
But I see the storm outside. Better be in. Yeah. But can I ask a question about the nature? Because the nature will bring a lot of storms and climate changes, and how to deal with it. Because I feel we are feathers in the storm, feathers in the, oh, what is coming in the future. Because I know it will happen more and more.
So how can a feather deal with anything?
Yeah, just surrender anyway.
Keep quiet.
It feels good to be a feather. Creating now and then.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Roger.
Yeah, nice drawings behind you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Armin, I saw you had your hand up. Hey. You need to unmute on the left bottom of your screen. Cool.
So
there, yes.
no, thank you. Can I sit with you a little?
Ah, yes. Love, loving, love.
I cannot say I feel safe in your nearness, or I feel it's all. It's not one thing, and I
Everything.
cannot explain. It's hugging, loving, all beauties that are possible. It's again and again so. just to meet you, just to see you, just to be present with you and the song. It's so. And the most beautiful thing is this aliveness, and somehow I'm myself the aliveness, and whoa, this is an explosion of joy. But all the time this emotion, or the state, or the wholeness is so much more and so much more beautiful than no word can ever explain or translate or do anything with it. And I'm so happy that I'm a part of it. So thankful. But I don't know in which direction I say thank you in all directions, and to myself.
I mean, to me, what we call thank you is actually gratefulness. It's a gratefulness that just overflows, so it goes everywhere. It's not directed anywhere. It just is an overflow. Yeah.
Thank you, Isaac. Thank you. Thank you to the song and all the people. No matter where all they are, and all is moving, and it's lovely to be inside. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
wonderful. Linda.
Hi.
Hi, Linda.
I guess I have a discontent with my experience, which
So who has that, Melinda? There's an activity going on. Who's doing it?
mind.
But that's not anybody, yeah? That's just thoughts.
Yeah, thoughts.
So there's just some automatic unconscious mechanism playing with nobody's doing. And it's noticed. And this, the way you spoke, you can see there's some identification with it, and nobody's doing that identification either. That identification is also an automatic unconscious movement. So in that seeing, nothing to do. It's like, just not hitchhiking with those thoughts anymore. Just, okay, they just thought. Nobody's doing them. Has nothing to do with who you are. It produces a sense of you, but it's certainly not who you are. And it's certainly that sense of you doesn't actually exist. It's just it exists as long as that mechanism is playing. It's not permanent.
Yeah. I still want the discomfort to go sensationally, maybe the thought stops.
And who wants that?
Thought.
And so then, just here now, seeing that there's resistance, which nobody's doing. And so you just here and you're noticing, wow, okay, somewhere that resistance is doing its dance. It's not wrong, it's not bad. It's just, you could say it can only function unconsciously. It's just an old habit, old thing playing in consciousness. We all know it. We've all, There's no one to do anything about it. There's nothing that needs to be done about it. Just the gentle noticing. Just checking, seeing, is it the same now? Has it changed a little bit?
The sensations have changed. And there's a longing, or the idea of longing comes in, labeling a slight pressure in the head.
Yeah, all of that stuff, just see, they just Yeah.
Efforting, you know.
All of those habits, yeah. Trying to do it right. Yeah. All, you know, it's like just appearing in nothing.
It's very busy in the mind, very, well.
That busyness is just somewhere in the system that is automatically resisting. There's nothing, the mind busyness is just an indication that somewhere there's resistance that nobody's doing.
And that it's wrong and bad and all that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no question. There's no.
It's like, yeah.
It's like got such an educated. It's yeah, it's okay. It's settling a little. Yeah, better. Do. Nothing to do.
Okay. Nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
Yeah. Thank you, Bas, for hosting. Thank you, beloveds, for showing up. Ciao for now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.